Welcome back, everyone, to cheese making with Pastor Sam. Last time we made some fresh mozzarella. Today we're going to be making some Indian cheese called paneer. I've looked at how you can make some cheddars and feta and stuff, and let's just say there's a reason Ellen White said that cheese was not fit for human consumption.
Now here it is at 2 months. It's looking pretty gnarly, but not gnarly enough to eat. So as you can see there, the blue mold has turned black. It does smell very earthy.
Thankfully, big producers have ways to pasteurize, but we're not going to do more cheese than just this. This is the end of the cheese road. You're gonna need some salt, a big pot, some citric acid or lemon juice, a gallon of milk, a pasta strainer, and some cheesecloth that you can get at Walmart in the craft section. And yes, I'm so sorry for my vegan friends, you have to use real milk. You can't use soy milk or almond milk or anything like that. I only use milk in cooking or making cheese. I love almond milk myself, but you're gonna have to use the real stuff in this situation. And potentially, if you're cooking Indian food, you could have a vegan option using tofu, but
nah, bro.
But we're gonna turn this on to medium heat, and we're going to cook this until it's just about to the boiling point, or if you have a thermometer like I do, to about 200 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna take our cheesecloth here, which is this fabric that's got a fine mesh to it. I think that's probably a good length. And then we're going to take this and unfrill it. So it's kind of this long fishing net, and we're going to fold it into the other direction so it's doubled. And now we're just gonna take this and put it in the sink right here. And you're very much going to want to continue to stir this. And as you're stirring, you can take this opportunity to read your favorite seminary textbook, The Song for the Sanctuary. Draft, do not copy. Did that count as copying? Don't read the front page. Don't read the front page. We've gotten there. It's all frothy now. There's a lot of steam coming off of it, and it's just about to boil. So next we need our acid, and you can use lemon juice if you prefer. I like to use this stuff because it's really easy to measure out. You don't need to go to the store and grab lemons every time you want to do this. So it turns out that half a teaspoon of this stuff is equivalent to a quarter cup of lemon juice. And we need half a cup of lemon juice, so we're gonna do 2 of those. There was 1, there's 2, and then I'm gonna move this. Gonna bring this over here so it's off of the heat, and we're gonna stir for 30 seconds. Okay, so now you can see how it's separated, and now we're going to cover this and we're gonna let it rest for 10 minutes. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this over to the sink, and we're going to carefully let this cheesecloth separate the curds from the whey. Sarah likes to make sure that she's got all the curds in the back and is letting as much of the whey through as possible, because otherwise the curds fill up and clog and don't allow all the whey just to pass through. So if we did it right, we should have most of the curds in there still. And now we can just gently drop them in. Whoa, ha! If there is a little extra stuff that you've missed, you can just run some water through it and run it just like you did with the whey through the cheesecloth. If it doesn't look like that, something's wrong and you're probably gonna have to start over. Or you can try to make it into some ricotta type stuff and make some lasagna. Next, we're going to take the corners of this cheesecloth like this. There should be 4 of them. And we're going to tie this up to the faucet so that the whey and the water that's still in there can drip out thanks to our good friend gravity. And we'll let that do that for a few minutes, maybe about 15 minutes actually.
A few moments later.
So now, with washed hands, we're gonna take this off. It's still a little bit warm, and we're going to squeeze it gently from the top, being very careful to not let any of the curds escape. We can even take a cutting board and press down on the cutting board with a plate to get some more water out. Next, we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt. Some recipes say do a whole teaspoon of salt, but for me that's way too much. Plus we're gonna season this in a little bit anyway. Then we can kind of just play with it and get it all incorporated into the paneer. After that, we're going to try to form this into a rectangle, and then we're gonna smash that and try to get one rectangle of paneer. And this part takes some practice. But it doesn't need to look pretty, which is the good thing, because it's not going to look pretty. So we can take that pot and fill it up with water and put it on top of that. And sometimes I also use my 35-pound dumbbell just to get it some extra weight. You really want this to smash and just get all the water. And we'll leave that sitting for about 15 minutes.
5 minutes later.
So I'm actually going to take this off now and wipe up some of the water that's come out, and then continue to press it for a few minutes.
11 minutes later.
So now it's been some time, so we're going to take this off and we're going to slice it up, and now we're going to start unwrapping the cheesecloth. And there you go, there's a nice, awesome piece of paneer. That's a very white boy take on this awesome, delicious Indian cheese that's very subtle, a little milky, very, very good, and makes curry dishes awesome.